What's up, guys? I'm here with another video. Welcome to episode 11 of building a city. Today we're building a Smyths toy store. So yeah, everything's set up. So hold on, just let me check. Alright, so everything's set up and let's build a Smyths toy store.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Smyths toy store for all of your city building needs. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very, very much. And if you can try and watch as much of the video as you possibly can, that'd be a huge help as well. But without any further ado, let's get started. This is the amount of space you need to make your store, a 34 by 37 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which I would more than recommend making if you are planning out your city or town or whatever. Here are all of the materials. We are going to be using throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And now that we have all of our stuff, we can get this started. So if you've made the grid, come all the way down to the front left hand corner of it and count backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Begin by placing 4 terracotta on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend to the right by 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Join down to the ground, and then take that 4th block and extend right by another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Join down to the ground, and then extend on the ground to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Place a light grey concrete in front, 2 glass in front of that, 1, 2, a light grey concrete in front of that, and then looking forwards, going right of the light grey concrete, we want to place a glass, gap of 1, glass, light grey concrete, 2 glass, light grey concrete, glass, gap of 1, glass, light grey concrete. Now we pretty much want to copy what we have over there, over here. Glass, gap of 1, glass, light grey concrete. Now we pretty much want to copy what we have over there, over here. So we want to extend the light grey concrete backwards by 2 with the glass. 1, 2, light grey concrete, terracotta behind, extend the terracotta to the right by 3, 1, 2, 3, go up by 3, 1, 2, 3, right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, extend down to the ground, take that 4th block and once again extend right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then extend down to the ground. And that is what we want to have, so that is perfect. So the next thing that we're going to do, since we are over here, we're going to take the terracotta and we're going to extend the row of terracotta backwards. Now, we are going to count this out, but if you have the grid, you know, just extend it along the back of the grid. So we have to extend the terracotta backwards by 29 rows.
Okay. 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. We can then extend this across the back of the build, and we want to line it up with the front. But the thing is, on the left side of the build, it's a little bit different than the right. On the left side, we want to create a couple of windows. These are very, very easy to make. It's basically the same sort of windows that we've been making all along. We want to take the corner of the build here. We want to, or we can even start from the bottom. From the bottom, we can place 2 glass. These windows are actually a little bit different. We want to place 2 glass, terracotta, 2 glass, and then an entire row terracotta extending all the way backwards. So those little 2 side windows, they are a little bit smaller than the other windows. So now that we've done that, I feel as though that we should really work on the rest of the building. We're missing 2 rows of terracotta though. There is a row of terracotta that is extended outwards from the light grey area here. So there's a terracotta here and here extending out of the 2 front corners of the build. And I'm not quite sure how I want to do this. So let's extend up these terracottas up by 2. And we want to do the same thing with the light grey. So the light grey wants to be 3 rows high in total, and the glass also, everything basically in this particular part, like the outward entrance part, wants to be 3 rows high in total. That's how it is. There's an entrance and an exit, so that's what. The 2 separate sides are full, that's why we've got 2 doors, so the entrance could be that side or that. Well, honestly, it doesn't even matter. I mean, people kind of just do what they want, but I mean, you know, we've got an entrance and an exit. We want to add a roof to this. So the roof is a little bit tricky, so I want to add a couple of rows of terracotta towards the back here, just kind of like extending this wall upwards that the entrance kind of connects to. And I want to place a row of, this is sort of tricky to explain, but a row of light blue concrete that extends above and around the entire, a row of light extending this wall upwards that the entrance kind of connects to. And I want to place a row of, this is sort of tricky to explain, but a row of light blue concrete that extends above and around the entire entrance area. So it kind of wants to overhang the. Actually, does it want to overhang? No, okay. This is why it's tricky, ladies and gentlemen. So, it wants to overhang the light grey concrete on the left side. It lines up with the terracotta on the side, but it wants to overhang both of those by 1 on the front. So on the left and right sides, it wants to line up with the terracotta, but on the front, it wants to overhang a row. And from there, if you like, you can then kind of like connect all of the light grey together inside, because of course it wants to look nice and clean on the inside here. And we also have to extend up the light blue concrete area as well. So we have to add 3 rows on top of it. 1, 2, 3, and it just wants to be 3 rows high. That's all there is to it, pretty much. We're also going to have to extend it into the store a little bit, but I'm thinking that for now, just for now, we're going to place the light blue concrete so that it lines up with the terracotta for the wall. So We'll just leave it at that for now, but later on we are going to augment this a little bit. So we've got a couple of things to do. So we have to fill in these windows. So we have windows all over the place, don't we? So on the front of the build we actually have 4 windows. They are 3 rows in width. And I think that they're actually, they're 3 rows high as well. So those want to be filled in on both of those sides. And of course, in addition to that, we're also going to want to fill in the windows on the left side of the build as well. So I guess we've got to make the frames for them first. If you just extend across the top row of terracotta and just like extend it down, extend the terracotta up that was in between, and then just add a little bit of glass, everything should work out. Quite nicely. Perfect. Oh, we've got this. How did I miss this? We've got this little window here on the left side of the entrance way there too. Something that you might want to do now as well. I mean, we've got to do it later, so we may as well do it now. Underneath the windows, I'm going to make those terracotta. I'm glad that I've got some grey concrete on me to fix that. Perfect. Underneath the entrance, these are going to be light grey. For the front, a little bit different. They're going to be the floor material. So the entrance area is going to be quartz brick, but the area in between here, that's going to be light grey concrete. Same thing on the right side here. The windows to the right here are also going brick, but the area in between here, that's going to be, for the front, a little bit different. They're going to be the floor material.
Hello, Everboss. Welcome to live stream.
Entrance area is going to be quartz brick, but the area in between here, that's going to be light grey concrete. Same thing on the right side here. The windows to the right here are also going to be terracotta underneath. Going to make some car parking spaces. Should we do that now? Should we do that? I mean, we're here. Okay, so I want to have a pathway. So the path, it's basically going to be 2 rows, 2 full rows of smooth stone that basically just allows you to walk in front of, and also this crevice here will be smooth stone. Unless you wanted to put plants in there instead, that's perfectly viable as well if you did want to do that, but I want to have 2 rows. Of smooth stone, just so that you can walk around in front of the store. And then we're going to have in between the path and the outer bounds of the build, we're just going to have car parking spaces, I should say. I guess it is technically 2 different car parks though, because the left and right side are not. I'm thinking it might be nice to have some flowers in this little part here, so I think I'm actually going to leave this grass, and I'll kind of like figure out a little bit later on, like, what do I want that as? So we'll just see a little bit later, but let's get this filled in with smooth stone. We've got our pathway, that's perfect. Car park spaces. We actually already have a So we want to have a row of 3 grey concrete, gap, 3 grey concrete, perfect. And then we want to dig all of this out. We'll extend the white concrete and the grey concrete towards the front of the store there. So this will all just get filled in here, here. Here, just all the way back, just like this. White concrete in between, yellow carpet on the end, and there you go, car parking spaces, as easy as that. For some reason, I don't know why, because this is such a big store, I shouldn't scroll down, because this is such a big store, I'm imagining this on like a retail park. So I'm imagining car parking spaces, I'm imagining a nice footpath that goes all the way around, I'm imagining like a decent amount of space around this. That's why I've even put windows on the side, like this could easily be a standalone store. Doesn't have to be, you can remove those windows, but I imagine this kind of like being off by itself on a retail park somewhere, or a larger part of town, or a city, you know. It's... I mean, you could put this, you know, in the city centre, but it's a little too big. I wouldn't expect to see one, but, you know, I don't expect a lot of things. So, next thing, we're going to build up the walls of our Smyths. So, the walls of our Smyths, it's basically the lower half of Smyths is terracotta. That's all there is to it. The terracotta is going to be as high, I think it's 4 rows high in total. Yeah, it is perfect. It's 4 rows high in total. It comes to the top of the terracotta area on the front of the build. So basically just like this is where the walls stop for this part anyway, because we are going to be making the walls a little bit higher. We're going to be involving a little bit of light grey concrete around the top as well. So now that we've got the terracotta, the light grey concrete is basically above and outside of the terracotta, so that's all there is to it. So the light grey concrete is above and outside the terracotta. It's 2 rows high in total, and it's as high as the roof gets, or well, not quite. The light blue concrete is as high as the roof gets, but this is, you know, very, very close. I think it's only 1 row off. Did I see? Yeah, it's only 1 row off, so it's not too far. So we can add the second row, and we might also, whilst we're up here, or we might wait until the end, because sometimes it's easy just to add the roof at the end. Yeah, I think that we'll wait until the end to make the roof, because the roof I've made it's semi-glass. Like, I want it to be nice and light inside, basically, because that's how I think about it. So we'll just leave it at that for now. Very, very happy with this. I mean, we've done a huge amount of this right now. Next thing that we're going to do is I think that we can pretty much grab all these materials. Actually, let's start off with the banners. So the banners, loom, yellow banners, red. Yellow dye. We got right, Smyths. I don't know why when you hold a banner your arm disappears. Maybe it's a bug. Anyway, loom, open, throw a yellow banner in there. We've got to make our first letter, which is our only repeatable letter actually, which is S. So horizontal row of red across the top, across the bottom, diagonal row, top left corner, to the bottom right. Perfect. That's S. M. So M, we have to start out with the triangle at the top, coming down. Grab that, put that back in, throw the red out, throw the yellow in. Then we go for the mini triangles. Grab that, throw that in, throw the yellow out, throw the red in. Vertical row of right, vertical row of red on the right, vertical row of red on the left. SM. Next is Y, another interesting letter to me. Diagonal row, top left corner to bottom right corner. Grab that, throw that back in, throw the red out, throw the yellow in, make the bottom half of the banner yellow. Grab that, throw that back in, throw the red out, throw the yellow out, throw the red in, and then do the opposite diagonal, top right corner to bottom left corner. So the next letter would be T. So that is a vertical row of red straight up the middle of the banner. Horizontal row across the top. T, perfect. Next is H. This is the last letter that we have to make unless you're on survival. H. So vertical row of, hey, actually that'll do. Horizontal row of red straight through the middle. Vertical row on the right. Vertical row on the left. Boom, you've got Smyth. But we want Smyths, of course, that's where the second S comes in. Basically, all you got to do is you've got to find the middle. I think it starts here. Okay, so I think that I wanted to say that. Okay, no, we start where this is the middle part of the store, right? So where we have the light grey, two glass light grey. Follow this up so that you're in the middle of the blue concrete, move one row left. S, N, whoops, Y, T, H, S. Perfect. Then Smyths is perfectly centered. That's awesome. I was saying awesome. Am I okay? I don't even know. So I'm going to get rid of all these materials and I'm going to grab quartz brick, like saying glass, although we'll probably save that for later, quite honestly. Bookshelves, smooth quartz slabs, smooth quartz. Stairs, we'll be needing light blue concrete. I know that we'll be needing black glass paint, and we'll need many more, but we'll just leave it at this. We've got a big job to do. It's a very, very, very big job. I'm highly considering cutting this out or fast forwarding it, but I might suffer through it. We've got to rip up the floor. That's the first job. Very, very tedious. So we rip up the floor and we replace it with quartz bricks. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I don't know whether to include this in the tutorial. I guess I will, but this is a long project. Like, just doing this feels like everything that we've done so far combined. I mean, I don't know whether I'm being a little bit too dramatic, but you know, that's what it feels like anyway. So, yeah, all this floor's got to get ripped up and then replaced with quartz bricks. Traditionally, I mean, obviously this is based on an actual store, like what? This is based on an actual store. Like I Google image these things. I've been to a Smyths before. They do Pokemon cards, and also they always have like quite a nice little gaming area too. So it's not just like like kids stores and stuff like this. It's actually a good store. Like I mean, I don't want to hate on Toys R Us because I can't interact, but I mean, Smyths is pretty good. I mean, they do board games and stuff. Is this an advertisement for Smyths? It's actually a good store. So the point that I was saying was sometimes in these stores there's like weird fourth floors, like from my own research. Like sometimes they're like blue, but then I wanted to make the shelves blue, and then it starts looking a little bit weird. Like if the whole store is blue, what are we doing here? So I've decided to make the store nice and bright. I've achieved this by placing, there's going to be quartz and brick for the floor, which we will eventually get to. But there's also going to be loads and loads of skylights. The only downside to that is, of course, there's actually not much artificial light in the store, so we may have to add, I mean, I'm not going to, but you may have to add some lanterns or some torches if you do want it to be bright when, it's actually night time. But other than that, like, during the day, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's as bright as it is now, like, even when the roof is on, so very, very happy with that, because
What were you laughing at? What were you laughing at?
Hey?
What were you laughing at?
Alfie was being a clown.
What was he doing? Okay.
The reason that I wanted to make it so bright is because it seems like a nice, happy place, or at least it feels that way to me. Like, you know, anything that kind of like puts you back in touch with things that you like to
Sus.
do. I think it's always like happy.
What do you mean,
nice,
sus?
And so hence why I wanted to keep it bright. I am realising it was probably a mistake to do this on recording, because now I'm just rambling, and we've got to add the floor now. We've got to the part where the floor is being added, although it's actually... Do you guys find it easier to dig or to place blocks? Like, which do you prefer? Because I prefer to just place stuff. Like, when it comes to like the digging... out of an area, like it seems much more annoying than it does just to like fill the area in. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Maybe you'll tell me. So, what have we got to add inside the store? So we've talked about the floor, we've talked about...
I'm playing sus Fortnite. Okay.
the roof. We've got to add the rest of the entrance, because the entrance like extends inside, if that makes sense, so we've got to do that. We've got to add all of these shelves, which isn't too difficult. I mean, it sort of follows a pattern. We've got to add the... where you would pay. We've just got a couple of cash registers and stuff. And then it's kind of like a little bit of decorating. We've just got to decorate the area. You may decide, and I do mean you, not us, collectively, you may decide that you want to like add loads and loads of different things to the shelves to make it look as though there's loads of different toys and games and stuff on the shelves. But I actually quite like the bookshelf look. Maybe this is difficult to understand without the visual, but we will be getting there very soon, especially now that we've just about filled the floor in. So let's just put an end to that. Perfect. It's absolutely massive. Look at the size of it. It's absolutely huge. I mean, these places are big though. Like they are kind of massive. So okay, what we're gonna do? We've got to make the rest of the inside. I actually think that it's even and level with the. Or do we add an extra part? I think that we're going to add like an extra part of the entrance. So what that means is, here we're going to add 2 glass, like extending out from the terracotta. Unless we. You see, this is tricky. Yeah, we'll add like 2 glass. And then we'll get the light grey back out again. Glass. Glass. Perfect. And then we've kind of like intruded into the store a little bit. And then we want to have the same rows of light grey that we have on the front there. We want to have the same glass that we have on the front, just like this. We want to make the light grey 4 rows high in total, so we'll extend this around, just destroy that. At the top, extend that around, join all of the light greys up and down, add all of the glass, so here, 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 here. I'm saying here too much. Here, 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 whoops, here, here, there we go. Sound like a town cry from the 1600s. So now that we have added all of the glass and we kind of have like the inside part, thinking of by the way, I might turn this into. That might look a little bit better as light grey concrete. A little bit, yeah, that looks way, way better. I think I'm going to extend the light blue concrete in and around the top of the light grey. So this is also going to make it look a lot more freed. So from the outside, obviously, like the blue concrete looks fine there, but I like the idea that it extends back a little bit further. Very minor detail, but I do like that. So we'll extend this around here, make it as high as it's got to be here. Think that we're going to. How should we do this? Or should we make it even? You know how like there's 2 rows of blue at the front? Should there be 2 rows of blue at the back, or do we simply fill the light blue concrete in here, say, and then extend the lights? I mean, how high maybe we extend the light grey so that it sits 1 row just below the blue concrete, just here, like this. And then we'll fill the top of this in using some black glass. So just to keep a sense of depth and such. So just like this here. Here. I mean, it doesn't have to be symmetrical, right? I mean, does it? I mean, I think it will be fine. Let's take a look from the top. Obviously, there's an extra row of blue on the front. It's making me think that there should be an extra row of blue on the back, but I don't know whether that's going to look odd inside of the store. Why don't we just try it and we'll see? Like this building is rather symmetrical, not perfectly, because it goes on one side rather than the other, and the inside isn't symmetrical, but I like the idea of the top being symmetrical. Like, it just looks a little bit better. That almost looks like a mask or something. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, let's just leave it at that, and we can always change it if we do decide. So, for the layout, let's work on the right side first, because this is the quote-unquote interesting side. So, the split in the window here, we want to have a row of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 light concrete extending out.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Gap of 1. 1, 2, 3 light blue concrete. Another row behind it. We want to have rows of bookshelves extending from the light blue concrete. 1, 2, 3 light blue concrete. Another row behind it. We want to have rows of bookshelves extending from the light blue concrete to the glass wall. They do clip into the panes, but oh well, what can you do? It is a pain, but what can you do? Anyway, so we're going to run a row of smooth quartz slabs just below the bottom row of the bookshelves here. We're going to stick a smooth quartz stair here just to look like a till. And we're also going to have kind of like a little waiting area sort of line, so this is where you would wait and such. You could even dig into the ground, and underneath this glass you could place some light blue concrete, so you'd like walk around here, hey, oh. Thank you very much, and then you'd be out, so, you know. I want to have a couple of displays. So one display is going to be, it's basically one row away from the end here, 2 by 2 square of light blue concrete, gap of 1, maybe a gap of 2. Yeah, a gap of 2 and then a 2 by 2 square of concrete. So I quite like that. Yeah, there we go, perfect. And then we're going to put some like heads or something on there. I know that sounds a bit violent, but they're going to look like plushies more so than actual heads. So what else do we want to do? So whilst we're on this side, if you come towards this back wall, you want to leave, first of all, a gap of 1. I know, this gap of 1 really annoys me, but gap of 1, row of 3, light blue concrete, 1, 2, 3, gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 light blue concrete, gap of 3, 3 light blue concrete, gap of 3. Then, you want to have a row of 2 light blue concrete. These 2 light blue concretes want to be 3 rows high. 3 light blue concrete, gap of 3, 3 light blue concrete, row of 3, light blue concrete, 1, 2, 3, gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 light blue concrete, gap of 3, 3 light blue concrete, gap of 3. Then you want to have a row of 2 light blue concrete. These 2 light blue concretes want to be 3 rows high, whilst the other rows only want to be 2 rows high. So, in the end, we want to have something that should look like this. This kind of looks like my connection bar on my phone for my mobile days. So what we then want to do is we have our bookshelves, and we want to take the middle of these smaller light blue concrete areas, and we want to place rows of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, J Blaster 6000. Welcome to live stream.
Extending from the middle of these shelves. On the end of these will be the equivalent. There we go, just like that, the equivalent light blue concrete. So if you wanted to, you can kind of jump the gun, and you can kind of like place the ends of the light blue concrete, these shelves, and then you can place the bookshelves in the middle. Doesn't matter which way around you do it, genuinely. So there we go, perfect. So there we go, pretty happy with it. Yeah, So, these are shelves. We want to add quartz slabs along the bottom of them. So the top half of the bottom, leaving an entire row above. That gives us opportunity to place item frames if we want. Again, we'll see when we get to the point. Like, I actually like how this looks. Like, I know it's simple. I know it might be a bit boring, but I actually really like it. Like, it's colourful. Like, I don't feel the need to stock the shelves with specific things. But once again, it's going to be your choice. But anyway, so that is the right side of the store. Quite happy with that. I don't think that we really have to change it, although we will, you know, I'll give you guys options. You guys know I like to give you options a little bit later on. Okay, let's come to the opposite side of the store now. We have our window here. It's a nice window. There's a pair of them. They look like eyes. Kind of reminds me of a fly. So, we want to leave a gap of 1 to the right, mark this out with a light blue concrete. We want to make this 3 rows high. We want to make it 2 rows wide, or depth, deep is the word. We then want to place, extending backwards, rows of 5 bookshelves. So this is the back part of the shelf here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, light blue concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, light blue concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, light blue concrete. And then the corner here is a little bit different in the fact that you know, it gets a little bit smaller towards the back here. Unless we were to make these shelves a little bit bigger, because these are going to be, but you see, the thing is, on the back here, we also want to have an equivalent amount of shelves. So we could make the middle shelves a little bit bigger than the ends, because this is how far the shelves have to come out at the back, right? So if we were to, say, destroy this, that means that we've got an extra 2 bookcases that we could add. So let's say that on the left here and on the right here, we could, instead of 5, have 6. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then on the left, 1, 2. On the right here, we could, instead of 5, we could have 6. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we extend this middle to the right, then we can place
What? Ah, stop!
light blue concrete in between, and we can make these shelves ever so slightly bigger, and it varies them a little bit. Like, it looks pretty good. And then we have this corner piece here in the back, and we don't have to have the by the way, we don't have to have the same thing on the right side, because obviously we don't have shelves running along the right side of the building. So we want to make these 3 rows high in total, as we've kind of like made as we've made the light blue concrete. These will have 2 rows of shelves. So we'll have a row of smooth quartz slabs across the bottom, just like this. And then we're going to add an extra row of shelf, kind of like on the top, so they're kind of even. And then you would place the stuff in between, kind of like at eye level. So that's the purpose of that. So we're going to have a few more sets of shelves. So leaving a gap of 3 between, let's start at the front, so a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. light blue concrete. Gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 light blue concrete. 1, 2, 3. Gap of 4, because the reason that it's 4 is because of this middle part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a gap of 1, 2, 3. So you might be thinking, like, why is it different? The reason that being is because there's shelves here opposite the door, there's shelves here opposite the door, and then it just, like, it spaces out nicely. So what we can then do is we can copy the light blue concrete. I don't know why I like doing the light blue concrete first. We can copy the light blue concrete that we have for the middle of these shelves there to here, just like this. And then, you see, it's kind of up to you what you could do if...
Hello, Adora, Rimtola, 2H Plaza. Welcome to live stream.
So you could, because we've got to have shelves running across the back of the building. Like the concrete that we have for the middle of these shelves, there to here, just like this. And then, you see, it's kind of up to you what you could do is...
I'm new. Okay. Let me have a look.
Out nicely this way. So what we can then do is we can copy the
So it's Bedrock Minecraft, isn't it? Yeah, I'm on Bedrock.
light blue concrete. I don't know why I like doing the light blue concrete first. We can copy the light blue concrete that we have for the middle of these shelves. There to here, just like this. And then, you see, it's kind of up to you what you could do is you could, because we've got to have shelves running across the back of the building. Let's place the light blue concrete for these shelves running across the back of the building, because it's like a weird, it's kind of like an odd number of shelves. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is along the back wall, I wanted to, well, that's simply not right, is it? Like, along the back wall, there we go. I think that's, what happened here? Are my eyes okay? How did I think that was, there we go.
Am I the only one chatting? I think so, yeah.
That's fine. Along the back wall, I tried to space it so that the middles of the shelves along the back wall are simply like the middle of the shelves, kind of like space between. the centre of the shelves running through the store. Does that make sense? So between, on the back of this store, we'll have the same 3 rows high, light blue concrete, and we'll have bookshelves. Again, the same height as all of the shelves that we have in the middle and along the left side, just like this, and they're all spaced out differently. So, but spaced out differently, but the middles of the shelves coincide with the aisles. So as you're kind of like looking down the aisles, you know, you get a nice face full of whatever. But it's, I don't know, like I imagine it laid out. Is it because I'm trying to be too symmetrical? Is that...
I'm gonna go play some Roblox, boy. Okay, you do that. After 10 minutes later. Okay.
Problem. Is that why it bothers me? Maybe. So it's kind of up to you how you want to lay it out, but you know, the back wall of all these shelves, that's a huge shelf. I mean, you could even separate this further, like you can take the edge, because I always like to line things up because I think that it looks...
Hold on, can you show your city? Okay, this is my city so far. There's my city.
Better if things flow in a particular way. You can see how everything sort of lines up. It just seems to have a better flow. Am I crazy? I don't know. Maybe. But I think that looks pretty good. So what we have to do now is we have to raise up all of these central light blue concrete. So that they're 3 rows high. And then we have to add the bookshelves in between them all. And then we have to add the smooth quartz slabs.
How long are you building this? I don't know what you're talking about.
The bottom and the top. So, pretty much, we want to have the same thing 3 times over. I think I'm section by section, or at least for the bookshelf.
Hello. I mean the toy store, of course. I don't really know. Hello, Leandro Martins. Welcome to live stream. Hopefully I said that right.
And then I'll do the same thing for the quartz slabs. Along the bottom and the top. So pretty much we want to have the same thing 3 times over. I think I'm going to do this section by section, or at least for the bookshelves, and then I'll do the same thing for the quartz slabs.
Check some
you might be thinking to yourself, like, is this too much thought to be put into just shelves? It might be. I don't know why. Sometimes I just get a little bit crazy with these things. It has to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? It has.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I don't have a pen. No. I don't have a pen. Alright guys, I'm back.
So also something, before I forget it, because I may forget it, there is a tiny little display here. Yeah. Oops. 3 times over. I think I'm going to do this section by section, or at least for the bookshelves, and then I'll do the same thing for the quartz slabs. And you might be thinking to yourself, like, is this too much thought to be put into just shelves? It might be. I don't know why. Sometimes I just get a little bit crazy with these things. It has to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? It has to be perfect. What can you do? So also something, before I forget it, because I may forget it, there is a tiny little display here, basically where the middle of the store is. So like as you walk in between here, it's just a tiny little display. Might even have doors around it with a little bit better, and I'll add some like shulker boxes to it to make it look like balls or something, you know. So now that we've done that, just a little 2x2 square for us to fill in later. We've got all of our.
Hello Supergirl, welcome to live stream.
We just want to add the 2 rows.
Okay, what is this? Yeah, this is a toy store that I'm making. Up on my phone. Oh cool, I love Make City World. Okay, cool.
Of smooth quartz slabs. It's along the bottom, it's nice. What's really a bit boring without simple, it's so clean. It's just, I just like it. Like there's not any weird parts to this store. Like I really like it. I mean, it might look a little bit boring without any sort of decoration, but then you've got like a nice big part here to walk around. Anyway, we'll talk more about how you can spice things up a little bit later on. The next thing that we're going to make is the till area. So, what do we need to make the tills? Start off with light grey concrete. We need some black carpet.
I'm just saying, are you a boy or a girl? Oh, I'm a boy. I'm a male.
The stairs, birch fence, beacons. Guests could even use some weighted pressure plates if you like, and that will pretty much.
Okay, just saying. Okay.
Do. Okay, so we're going to take the end here of this window. We're going to leave a gap of 2, and then we're going to place 2 light grey concrete, and then we're going to extend that light grey concrete down by 2, and then we're going to leave a gap of 2 between all of this, and then we're going to do the same thing. So a gap of 2 from the end, 2 light grey concrete, extend down by 2, so it looks a little bit like this. We're going to have seats for the cashiers. We're going to have a little chest here, just off to the side. And then we're going to have a couple of birch fence extended from the ends, with beacons on top. Black concrete on top of the...
I thought you are a girl. I'm sorry. Okay. It's just my voice.
Side of the light grey concrete, and then maybe even a weighted pressure plate on here as well. And there you go. You've got 2 perfectly nice looking tills. I'm quite happy with that. So now that we have done that part, we are going to head just into the lobby area. And for the lobby area, we're just going to grab some light blue concrete. We're going to grab the cauldrons, oak fence gates, and I like... the idea of having some shopping carts. So 2 rows of light blue concrete that are pretty much like in the center, like where we have these 2 windows, like on the front and the back, just like a little rectangle, and just cauldrons on one side and cauldrons on the other side with oak fence gates that are open to make them kind of look like shopping carts. And maybe we'll even have some promotional items, just like a hub and inside here, and that's pretty.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but I'm 19. Okay, I'm a feminine. Okay, I think you meant to say female, but okay.
Much like what we're going to have for the moment. So now that whilst we have it, the weighted pressure plate, I want to place one on this.
Hey, you wanna just say?
Till area here, and also the same thing for the lantern. I kind of like want to place just a lantern on this till area 2. And actually, just thinking about it, before we kind of like get to the part where it's going to be like subjective, like we're going to get to a point where it's like, oh, I don't know whether I want to add this or whether you will, I want to fill the roof in before we get to that part where we're doing stuff where it's like it's up to you. So light grey concrete, black glass, and we're going to fill in the roof. So it's going to be quite easy because we're going to use the shelves as a guide on how we're going to fill in the roof. It's going to be dead simple. Basically, you take the middle of the light blue concrete area for the back of the entrance, and we're going to have a row of light grey that lines up with the 2 middle shelving areas.
I subbed to you. Oh, thanks. Hi. Hi, Mum. We're having a barbecue tomorrow, so that means we're not having a roast.
What?
So we're not having a roast tomorrow.
What?
So we're not having a roast tomorrow.
No.
Okay. Then what shall we have for dinner tomorrow then? And what should we have for dinner tomorrow then? Anyway guys, I might have to ask my mum a question.
For the middle of the store here, and then we're going to also, I think
What?
we're going to use the window. So we're going to have this split in the window here, and we're going to have another row of light grey concrete, so here, and then the split here. So that is exactly what we want to have, and then it kind of like, it just does a good job. Split here. So that is exactly what we want to have. And we're going to have another row of light grey concrete, so here, and then the split here. So that is exactly what we want to have. And then it kind of like, it just does a good job then of dividing the roof up. And I'm not sure, by the way, I'm not sure whether I want to drop these light grey concretes down and then kind of have a, and I'm testing this because I'm going to see if I like it, and then I'm going to see if I like the glass one row below the light grey concrete. So originally I placed the glass even and level with like the top of the light grey concrete, but I might like this better because I think it uses a bit more space in the store. Like
Next year, I'm going to make a city for my 8th birthday special. I love your stream. Keep up the good work. Thanks.
sort of like like that. But then it might also be nice for the inside of the store. So let's just see which one we like more. Like it doesn't matter if we have to rip up some glass. I mean, I do it off recording, but I'll leave it up to you to decide whether or not you like this. So we can place all of the glass here, just in the top. You see that my inkling is that the glass will look.
I thought
better.
you AFK forever, lol. I wasn't AFK for very long. What does AFK mean? I don't know. Okay, IDK means I don't know.
From the inside, one row above the light grey concrete. Like if you're dropping the light grey concrete,
Meh, it means.
it will look
Okay.
better. But I mean, again, this is kind of like a design choice. It's sort of up to you. It'll also feel a little bit bigger as well. So we didn't drop the light grey concrete down. So. Like, I sort of like having these groups of light grey concrete and then the glass above. I think that looks better than that, definitely. So, that also depends whether you want to drop the light grey concrete down a little more. It might make the store feel a little...
Can I see the neighbourhood? Okay, I'll show you it in a minute. Let me show you that neighbourhood I showed you. There it is over there. Here it is.
Well, not kind of, completely up to you whether or not you want to do that. I'm going to test this out because it's just a thought that I had whilst I was doing it. I quite like the... the depth between the light grey concrete and the glass, and I think that it would just make it a little bit more interesting in the store, but it might also make it feel smaller because now we have kind of like what would you call them, these rafters, kind of like dropping. That very first room that I placed half time, which is going to be a little bit unfortunate. Not sure what I'm going to do with the terracotta on the front and the sides, pretty much the sides of the store, because you see there's like a weird gap between that and the roof. So I don't know whether to make the roof. I don't know whether to add an extra roof of light grey concrete. I don't know whether to extend the terracotta up. I don't know. So I think that's another decision that we're going to have to make before we kind of like get on to the cosmetic part of Smyths. Like there's some things that I'm going to do to the inside of the Smyths that I'd be like, yeah, you're definitely going to want to do that. It just looks better this way. But then there's other parts where it's like, you know, it's so, you know. So let's have a look at what we've done now to the roof. Yeah, you see, I sort of like the...
Yeah. Okay.
It feels like it sort of, I don't know, it feels a bit more fluid here in doing that. What about this? You know how we've got these shelves? Can we make them bigger? That's a possibility. Do we extend the shelves up? Does that look a little bit weird? It would look weird like this. Now that looks strange. So do we keep these shelves a little bit lower? And do we opt to add an extra row of terracotta across the top of the shelves? I don't like that. Do we extend the glass, or rather, do we extend the light grey concrete down so that we don't have these? So let me get rid of this row of terracotta. Like, no, yes. So do we have the row of terracotta across the back? You can see the difference. Or is it sort of nice to have the depth of that? I don't know. Anyway, I mean, I'm going to leave it like this. I actually quite like it like that, so I'm quite happy. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I going to be doing next? So, I'm going to grab what I would consider like the
okay, I'm back. Okay.
That we're going to add to the inside of our Smyths that will make it just look a little bit better, in my opinion. And then I'll show you things that you can kind of add about the place that may or may not look better depending upon your point of view. I'm also going to fix that roof over there. So if you give me a second, let me grab all of the mandatory items and then we can get started again.
I'm on live
so
now.
I have gathered
Okay,
all of
if you
what I
want
consider
to
be the
watch
necessary
it.
materials, just
Okay.
a nice little finishing touch on your store. So here it is. We've got item frames. A load of music discs to start off with. There's more than this, but you know, you don't have to go overboard. We've got some shulker boxes, a jukebox, some books. We've got all sorts of different heads, spruce trapdoors, and paintings. So, what are most of these things for? I want to place item frames along the top of kind of like this little till area. I also want to place item frames kind of like just kind of like on the till as well. I'm going to place a load of item frames. Basically, I'm going to place item frames all along.
Boom, 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 boom.
Where we have the small shelf bookshelves.
I'm live in my... I'm in my city world. Okay, cool.
So the reason for this is because these are, like, this is the gaming section, right? This is where you would get all the games and such. Actual, like, video games, I should say, specifically. So that is why we've got a load of music discs, and we're going to fill in all of these item frames. Now, once again,
You gotta also subscribe.
if you try to go for more of a variety, you've got loads more music discs in place. You've got loads.
And the
Music discs.
I'll fix that later.
I can't even ballpark. How many are there? 15, 16? I don't. Even know. So, feel free to do that. You can, if not just place music discs here, you can place shulker boxes here. As well. Now, boxes, I mean, you know, a lot of Minecraft is interpretation. Boxes could be consoles, they could be, well, I mean, that's probably mostly what you're going to buy in the video.
You copy TSMC YouTube channel. Why? What do you mean I copy TSMC Minecraft channel? I mean, what do you mean I copy his channel? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Oh, you're making Sniff toys for me.
See, look. That's how it actually looks.
Look. Oh yeah, I did it wrong last time.
Look at this. Because you have TSMC stuff. Oh, I built that. I don't copy it. He makes tutorials how to build it. I'm not copying him. See, I built this is a tutorial. That all of these builds are tutorial videos.
Except for mine.
Except for my brother's. All of these I built. I watched a tutorial how to make them. So yeah. Anyway, let's go back to my Smyths.
Section like a games and consoles, but like we've got all of our music discs. And by the way, I think that looks quite cool because I don't know, it just kind of like keeps.
Are you gonna play?
Separate. Like I just think that looks really cool. So what we can then do is
My store.
grab our shulker boxes, jukebox if we want, books,
and a and a and a and a
and I like the idea of having a couple of magazines. Like this table area here, but if you wanted to, you could destroy some of the item frames, which I don't want to do because I want to keep it like this. And you can have just like console boxes, just like on the top here, or on these shelves themselves if you wanted to. I mean, we could even have them here if we wanted to. We could have just. By the way, I like the red and the blue specifically because it's like a Nintendo Switch, like it's sort of suggestive. But I mean, you could have like white for the PS5 and stuff if you wanted to. You can have them facing in different ways. You could even have like a jukebox. You could have like item frames. You could have like a book here and there. You can have different discs here and there as well. So you know, you can get a little bit. You could have like item frames, you could have like a book here and there, you can have different discs here and there as well, so you know, you can get a little bit creative if you want to. It's up to you. This area here, I like the idea of just having plushies. So those plushies, you know, quotation marks. Oh, and you can even mess about, like if you want to. Keep this separate, although I quite like
it. It's dinner time. See ya later. Alright.
the blue, like you can make it look like a bin of sorts, you know, kind of like a bargain bin or something, and you can just have all of your different heads here. If you wanted to, just like that. You can have the same thing outside, by the way, so like you can have just like some heads kind of looking just like toy. And stuff like that, if you wanted to. It depends whether or not you think that that looks any good. You can have posters, so I mean, when I say posters, paintings, you know, you can have paintings kind of like placed about the place, like you're going to want to be strategic with them. You're going to want to, you know, kind of like place them in the centre of things. At least I would. I mean, you can even place them on shelves if you want. To like the ends of shelves. You could even place signs on the shelves if you wanted to make it look, you know, to kind of like label the shelves. Another one here, like you don't have to go over. Of the paintings, it's just an idea, you know. So, hang on. So here. There we go, I should have done the other way around. There we are, so you know. Just paintings about the place if you want to. Again, not necessary whatsoever. You might like it, you might not like it. It's completely up to you. I think that this end of the store could probably do with a little bit more colour, so perhaps some of these. You can even take lanterns, you can hang lanterns, or not even hang them, you can place them. On the shelves as well. So this is what I would do as kind of like I say, kind of like this is what I would say the mandatory, just to keep it like that looks. This section like looks really cool now, right? It's separate from the other sections. That's what I wanted. Like I wanted to really, I wanted to explain what this side of the store is, and then the rest of the store. The fact that it's a Smyths, the fact that it's a toy store should be rather self-explanatory, and the fact that it is just a toy store. So I don't feel the need to fill these shelves up. If you want to fill the shelves up, obviously you guys know what to do. Like you just add random stuff to these shelves, right? I mean these. If you take the fact that the crafting table, cartography table, flashing table, if you take away the fact that you know what they are, like. They sort of look like a game boxes, you know, especially like that. Like it looks like game boxes. So like you can add these kind of like about the place if you wanted to. I mean, I'll do it to the back. You can even use a different shortcut. I always find myself using the same of course, but you know, specifically like this. Now that is a little bit unimpressive. I mean, at the top though, if you could see the top, I mean, it does look there. We've got better. I mean, it just looks like stuff on the shelves. And feel free to stock all of the shelves up like this if you want to. I'm happy as it is, but you might feel the need to do that. But ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, you might not believe it. I'm not sure I believe it. We're kind of done, unless you want to place paintings on kind of like the. I mean, that might even look good to place paintings in the middle of the windows. Let's test it. Let's see if it's cut, because
Alright.
it doesn't like advertisements on the outsides of the windows. That might be a good addition. But other than that, I'm very happy with how this has turned out. I'm very, very happy. I don't feel the need to add anything else. I'm genuinely rather happy with how it's turned out. The paintings don't look bad. I'm not sure if I do like them like better than the original, but I'm very happy with what we've done here, ladies and gentlemen. I think that we've finished. Let's take a little bit of a tour and then we'll say our goodbyes. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what our Smyths toy store will look like once it's been 100% fully completed.
We have finished a British toy store. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We've finished Smyths. Now, I love this build a lot. I really wanted to build Smyths for a long time, and I finally made Smyths toys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me building Smyths toys. If you did, please do remember to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.